Hey Explorers, I'm Jessica.
And I'm Robert.
And today on Exploring the Local Life, we're going to be talking about...
So you want to be a YouTube player.
You're thinking, oh, I'm going to start RVing or traveling or something cool, whatever that may be.
Beauty vlog!
And I'm going to get it put on YouTube and everyone's going to watch it and I'm going to make some money.
Well, some things to think about from our experience that we want to talk to you about today.
Yeah. Alright, so these are in like no particular order because we just sort of write down whatever comes to my head.
And then I argue with it.
Yeah, awesome.
So that's part of the deal too.
That's part of the deal too, especially if you're making a YouTube channel with somebody else, no matter how much you love them and get along and have fun.
They will be wrong half the time, at least.
There will be disagreements. That wasn't actually a number on here.
Number one.
Number one, if you're doing this with somebody, there may be creative differences that come up, and the closer and more time you spend with that individual, the more likely you're going to have creative differences.
That's right.
And also our children are here playing in the background, so you might hear them whispering or jumping or something at some point. So, you know, this is real life, people. That's another thing. Along with your creative partner, you might have other individuals if you're doing it in a tight space or if you're doing it out in a public space where you might have people involved that you may not have intended in your videos.
So. There'll be production challenges, whether it's audio, video, lighting, whatever. You got to be aware of that. Oi!
Too loud.
Too loud. Too loud. Too much talking. Like that.
Like that. So, okay, we talked a little bit about creative differences and that sort of thing.
Email me. I'll tell you about creative differences.
So you also need to be aware of your appearance. Today we're kind of in pajama wear on purpose because we're making coffee. And this is kind of like a casual video. If you showed up at our RV and knocked, this is probably what we're going to be wearing.
And making either coffee or a vodka tonic.
Something of that effect. So, you know, just think about, I think the biggest thing with like appearance is not so much like what you're wearing, but what kind of message it conveys, and that you are wearing appropriate attire for whatever you're doing. Obviously, you're going to be at the beach. You're probably going to be in a bathing suit or something like that. Or if you're going to be hiking, you're going to be wearing hiking wear. If you're going to be in your home, it's kind of subject to all kinds of different things. But make sure you're wearing proper undergarments and things like that. That you have tested out the lighting ahead of time. So if you're wearing something that's see-through, are you okay with it being see-through? You just need to be aware of.
Yeah, otherwise you might spend
happening.
hours putting effort into your video and then you realize that it's just not appropriate for your audience.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and yeah, you just take like a test shot. It doesn't take that long to just go, hey, this is a test. So that way you can go ahead and see what all of the things that you have on, what your hair is doing. If it's wind, I mean, is it going across your face? Are you okay with that? And I think the biggest thing for you as the creator is, are you okay with that? We're not telling you how to appear on your video. Just be aware of it, think about it, and then just be okay with it. Be able to go, this is what I decided to wear, and in 5 years when I look back on that video, I'm still going to be okay with it, or be like, okay, well, at least I was dressed.
Yeah, at least you're dressed.
At least I'm wearing, you know, a bra, and Robert's wearing underwear. You know, that's...
And part of the thing is that, you know, part of that is every time that you're going to get to do a video, you have to be consistent, you know? If it's the theme of your video, if you're into beauty vlogs or something, you're going to have to be ready every time.
Okay, so Robert mentioned consistency. That's going to be number 2. You can't just... I mean, it is your channel. You can sort of do whatever you want, whenever you want. Yes, and kind of know.
However, your audience is going to have a certain expectation once you start doing videos.
Right, and yeah, so, you know, like for us, a lot of times we do RV kind of how to or how not to do videos, or just sort of advice based on some of the stuff that we've done and the mistakes that we've made to hopefully keep you all from doing that. But we're doing this video today, which you might be like, why are they doing this video today? Because it isn't really consistent with what we do, but in a sense it is, because we are making videos all the time.
And we're making disagreements about doing videos, and this is what we finally decided on.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, that whole number, what was that number? I don't even know what number that was.
Number previous.
Number 0. the starting point where we talked about disagreements and creative differences when you have a partner. Anyway, about consistency.
Is this almond milk or regular milk?
I don't know. I'm not the one making yours, handling the stove part. That's done. So anyway, consistency. You want to not only, generally speaking, kind of talk about the same-ish topics that your audience has come to know and love. You also want to be kind of consistent in when you post your videos, what time you do. The more consistent you can be, the better it is, because then your audience will come to expect and to know that on, let's say, Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock, there's going to be a new video from Exploring the Local Life. And also on Mondays at 9 p.m., this is all Eastern time, there will also be a video from Exploring the Local Life. And you guys also know that when Monday and Wednesday roll around and there isn't a video from Exploring the Local Life,
Jessica's
you get a little
freaking out.
Oh yeah, I'm also freaking out. But also you guys, if you watch it all the time, might also be freaking out. It's just like if you watch a show consistently on Sunday nights, on broadcast television or whatever, and then suddenly one night it isn't there. Like, what the heck, right? Like, it's major panic. What happened? Was the show canceled? All kinds of...
What happened to my Game of Thrones?
Mass hysteria. So, that, you know, in that sense, yeah, YouTube is different, but in that sense of setting expectations, of people just knowing, it's part of also feeling like they know you, that they know your schedule too. It gives a sense of trust and go ahead.
Yeah, so consistency is definitely key. You want to be regular about it, you want to be committed about it, and that drives us from consistency to commitment. And it takes quite a bit of commitment. You're going to be working long hours for how much return? Oh my God, what's the level of production? How intense is your stuff, right, Jess?
Yes, and you know, on the lines of that, we were actually making this list, and we said consistency, and then Robert said commitment. I was like, isn't that sort of the same thing?
No.
No, because the commitment is always showing up. Also, you know, we show up in those comments, not a lot as much because we have so many comments now. Thank you very much. That's in a good way. I'm saying thank you very much. But it does mean that you know, we still have to show up and put something out there, even when somebody said something that is mean, rude, gross. Yeah. Robert knows something about commitment and being married to me.
Yes, it takes a lot to be committed to Jessica.
Shut up! Alright, start it over. I'm awesome. Alright, go.
Yeah, so as you know, a bit of a metaphor about commitment, when you're married to Jessica, you have to commit to it. You know, so starting a YouTube channel, blog, or website, it is a commitment. I mean, it's like till death do us part. But yeah, seriously, when it comes to your, YouTube channel, if you do not put and invest that regularity into it, it's not going to work for you. I mean, we haven't seen much return, but the relationships that we have formed as a result of this channel are massive. And so that's part of our commitment to it, is that we show that we're out here every week. We're going to continue to do it because we have folks that come to us for information about the RV life. Similarly, when you're committed to that and you show that consistency, it can also roll into other parts of what you may be wanting to do career-wise outside of the day-to-day 9-to-5 grind. Jess, what have we seen as a result of doing this consistently?
So this isn't really like a number, but with Robert talking about how does that commitment, how does that consistency, how do those things of the show it uppiness, is that even a phrase? Pretend it is. What does that mean for those watching? It's not just potential RVers that are watching. It's not just people that have been watching us for years that are watching us. But sometimes there are people that work for companies that are specifically out there looking at YouTube channels and what they're putting out there, and it means that people will reach out for other projects and things. They see us showing up, they see us showing up in the comments, they see us producing content that people value, and in that it makes it less of a risk for them to reach out to us for a potential work relationship beyond YouTube, completely outside of YouTube. where we can get their products out in front of a new audience or whatever else that they might need.
Or simply they just need content. It may be content about what you specifically want to do. For example, if somebody wants to know just about an alternative way of living and working remotely, they reach out to us and we can do a 2-minute video with them about that sort of stuff. It's all about being able to get, you know, that consistency, that commitment gets you the exposure, and then people call on you to help them in their projects.
Yeah, and that sort of rolls into like money, right? Because a lot of people are like, awesome, this is fun, of course I want to share with my family and friends, but I see some people make money off of their YouTube channel. I want to do that too. We all do. We all really want to make some money off of it too. We still do. Because, you know, unless you have like millions and millions of views, subscribers, or whatever, the big money from ad revenue, which is where you get it mostly from, if you're doing live videos, there's an opportunity for super chat where people can give during, donate. Daniel knows, it's the people he watches. He watches the big channels.
Yeah, so Super Chat gives your viewer an opportunity to give you money, and that brings your comment to the top of the list, and that way, you know, you can directly address the most important comment.
Right. So, you know, there are those opportunities, but for the most part, most people that have a YouTube channel out there are not rolling in the dough. You do get some money. We do get some money every month from YouTube, a small amount.
Watch those ads.
That's right. Please don't skip those ads. They help us be able to come to you.
If you don't understand why those ads are important, you really don't get how YouTube works, do you?
And of course, if you get a 10-minute video that's totally unrelated, if it's watched 30 seconds, we get a little bit of money for the 30 seconds you do watch. But anyway, aside from money, so
now that big Texas RV video that's like 20 minutes long with that lady hosting it, yeah, I like that one.
Oh my gosh. So we were talking about money. So there's the ad revenue, but then there's that whole, like, with people, brands, whatever, that have companies and looking for people to partner with or work with on some capacity. The YouTube channel becomes more of almost like a living business card. People can see us. They can see the way that we carry ourselves. They can hear our voices. They see the way we live. They see that we built up an audience.
That we care about our audience.
That we care about our audience. They see these things, and then we can get business partnerships and different things going on the side that can then bring in additional revenue. So I don't want you to think that... thank you. But the amount of money that you actually invest into your YouTube channel and the time, if you start kind of like per houring it.
It's going to be a little bleak. So that's a good segue, Jess. Let's talk about the investment into the YouTube channel. Okay, so when you're making videos, nothing comes without something, and that something is money. And that money is used to buy equipment. So you can start a channel with something as simple as your smartphone, because we have really awesome technology nowadays. You can have an iPhone, a Samsung, and you can go out and start shooting. But that really will also affect the sort of videoing that you do. So you got to think about it. When we first started, 4 years ago, actually, yeah, about 4 years ago, before we started RVing, we just had a Sony DSLR. And it was great for photographs, and it was great for short videos. But with so many Sonys, the way these guys want to do it, after about 8-9 minutes, it overheats and they can't do any more video. It's a real bummer when you're trying to talk to somebody or film something beautiful. From then, we decided, oh, well, guess what? We'll get on the GoPro. Just like everybody was getting a GoPro, we got a GoPro, and it was fantastic. But we also were living in Florida. We had to get a case for it because we wanted to go into the springs, and we have a wonderful little video about Alexander Springs. It's one of my favorite vids and one of the best times we've ever had. So we invested money into all those cases for the GoPro, but then we realized when we're walking, we're always having shaky cam. Shaky cam is good in a Transformers movie, Michael Bay, but it is not if you're trying to entertain and educate and show off a location. So then we ended up getting a 3-axis gimbal, a Feiyu, which then we had stable video. We could run around, walk around, talk around, do stuff at a slight tilt because we never were able to properly calibrate it. But that was more money. So we're looking at a DSLR, which was about 800 bucks, which we had already bought. Then we got a GoPro, which was about 400, 500 bucks at the time, and its ancillaries. And then we got the Feiyu gyro stabilized, 3-axis gyro stabilized gimbal. And that was another, what, 300 bucks?
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And we bought a microphone. We bought, actually, a $100 microphone. It has this, I don't know what happened. It died. Just died one day.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It was one of those, I'm not going to say the brand, but it was, you know, a little thingy just for recording audio. And it was a pain in the butt. It just died one day. That was 100 bucks. And it's just 100 bucks. Yeah, it's 100 bucks on top of 300 bucks, on top of 400 bucks, on top of 800 bucks. So
right.
You got to think about what's going to do the best job for you.
Plus equipment to actually edit your stuff. We've killed how many computers?
Yeah, we're on computer number 3. You know, we started off with our regular laptop, and it wasn't able to run Adobe Photoshop or whatever it was, Premiere Pro. So we got a better computer. That was another $900. And then that died. And so then we were stuck just working on whatever we had. And then finally we invested because we wanted to make sure Jessica's life would be far better without cussing and wanting to literally destroy your laptop. We ended up getting a MacBook Pro. And those are not cheap. This one was about how much? $22.50?
I don't know. Plus you have to be able to store all that raw footage, all of that. So we actually pay for a iCloud to maintain all of that. We also have to pay for all the little data cards. There's something I'm forgetting. Oh, even when we were using the Adobe Premiere Pro, that was a monthly subscription fee that we paid for that.
And Adobe Premiere Pro works really well when it works.
And when it doesn't, it doesn't. That was one of the reasons we went to the Mac. Right now I'm editing just using the base program on there, the iMovie. I'm like, what's it called? I don't even know. Yeah. I don't even care what it's called because it works.
And at some point we're going to upgrade to what's above iMovie? Final Maker Cut Pro.
Did I just
whatever.
I said something funny there. Anyway.
Yeah.
That.
So these are considerations, equipment, and not to mention equipment. Your tripod. Are you going to get a crappy tripod that you have to replace?
Which we did. We did that.
And we sort of knew it was a crappy tripod, but when you're looking at your household budget, you end up getting the crappy tripod. Now, we don't have a crappy tripod, but it's not a great tripod. But it's been really good to us.
Yeah, so, you know, there's all these different things. And then we're not even talking about, you know, your time investment and all that stuff that goes into actually filming.
Will your channel require you to buy clothes? Will it require you to go to different locations just to get the shot? As part of our life, we try to integrate it into our RVing. Oftentimes we'll be in the RV. Oftentimes we'll be in a location like Helen Hunt Falls last week. And that's just because we were there. And so because as a part of our family life, we do that. But what if you're an adventurer, you're single, you like to travel the world, you like to get all these exotic shots for your Instagram, Facebook, pyrotechnics, whatever. All things to consider. Cost, cost, cost. And what return will you get on that? We encourage you to go for it, but plan on it. It's going to be money.
Yeah, we're not saying not to do that. We just want to make sure that there's a reality check to the whole thing.
Especially if you have kids.
Yeah, as you can hear. Having them be quiet for like an hour, which is typically how long it takes us to work out these videos. And
after we've had our preliminary arguments.
Sometimes we have them in the middle. You guys have seen those where I have to fast forward and I say, what are creative disagreements or whatever. That would be what that is. Yeah.
So anyways, let's wrap up on the money. You have to budget for all the things that you might need equipment-wise that you haven't thought about, processing, digital storage. I mean, those 64 gig data cards sound like a lot until you realize you need what data card in your drone. We have a drone too. Data card in your drone, data card in your camera, data card in your other camera, data card in the other camera, the data cards that you lost because they were so small in 3 or 4 different locations. So it all adds up.
Yeah, and what we're filming on right now, we just got this.
Oh yes, we just got a brand new, it's a couple years old, it's been out in the marketplace, a Lumix GX85, and it's really sweet. We're going to see how it works out for us.
Yeah, we got it because our GoPro no longer, we use it to film almost everything, and we were having a hard time filming inside the RV, which currently we're in Colorado, which is like, oh, it's beautiful, it's great. It is, but it's snowing sometimes, or...
It's May 9th. We're going to have a snowstorm tonight.
And so it's really, really cold out there, and I just cannot be like all me in front of the camera when I'm freezing. Yeah, and then, yeah, there was that time, like the last campground where we were by an interstate. There was no, like, editing that sound out, okay?
Yeah. And so, going outside wasn't very glamorous.
Yeah, so having the GoPro inside, it just was not, it needs to be, it's an outdoor cam. It needs the sun, it needs natural lighting. It will not do well with the other lighting that we have inside the RV. So that's why we actually purchased this, to expand our capabilities, to be able to film wherever, whenever. Of course, it doesn't have an audio jack port thing. Well, let's talk about...
That was just my call.
Anyway.
I fell in love with it.
Let's talk about lighting and audio. Now that we're kind of on the subject, we sort of went into that naturally, talking about lighting and audio.
Okay.
So not only do you need to be like, you know, consistently doing this stuff, have the equipment, blah, 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 you have freaking lighting and audio issues all the time. Like right now, even if we went outside right now, the lighting is awful. Okay, it's an overcast kind of day, so we're inside, we have all of our lights on, we're using our reflectix to like bounce the light from the windows, we have everything open, we have an overhead light over here, which I don't know if you can see. Very fancy. You know, and you don't have to be fancy about it, but you have to have the stuff and work around this life. Because crappy did you really
just kidding.
Okay. So, because you cannot have a dim, dingy, yucky kind of video. We have some, but, you know, it's not great. And as you build your channel, you're hopefully moving in a better direction.
And use everything as an experience. You know, if you do a video and something didn't work for you, don't just do the next video without making changes. Experiment, make changes. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
And audio. Our audio still...
Right now we're recording just off of this camera, and we're indoors, and it has a tiny little microphone, stereo mic, so we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, and we do have different ones. Like we have this little tiny, well, it's attached to...
It's a lapel mic.
It's a lapel mic, but it's specifically for like phones, so you can add it onto a phone to then take your audio and, you know, record it separately, but then you have to splice it all together, and it's a pain in the butt, and I hate doing it. And then
she does a great job, doesn't she, folks? Yeah, that's my sweetheart right here.
And then we have another small lapel mic that we can put on the GoPro and stuff, and that one, we also have like a little fuzzy.
Yeah, if you're going to be shooting outdoors, you need a dead mouse.
Yeah, because it helps cut with the wind. And it took us far longer on some of these things to get them than...
Things we knew we'd needed to get for years and decades, but you know, when you got bills to pay and shoes to put on your kids, and
yeah, it gets, you know,
paychecks get missed by your company,
yeah,
previous company.
It gets complicated.
It's complicated.
But those are things that you don't want to forget about. We do have a video. It's like what is it? What no one tells you about RVing or something like that. I don't know. It has 200-something thousand views. And it was the first month of us RVing. We hadn't been doing videos that long, really. We were still totally new to this. And there's a squeaky swing. It's horrible. Nothing I can do about it now. It has some good content if you can get past the squeaky swing. Some people can't.
Are you strong enough?
Are you strong enough? That's the challenge, man. See if you can get through that video and see how you can avoid, you know. It was one of those, I needed to get the video done. I didn't even hear it when I was editing it. I didn't even hear it until like a week later when I went to watch it online.
And everybody's commenting on it.
And I was like, oh my gosh, is that the video? I couldn't do anything about it. So there we are. Audio and lighting is important because you can't fix it later.
Yep.
And I am not a sound master person. I just want it so that you can hear us. Okay, so we talked about, you know, me not being a sound engineer or lighting expert or any of those things. We literally just picked up a camera and just started doing stuff. Now, you can do that too, or you can, I don't even know what number we are anymore. We stopped, I think, counting numbers. But there are classes and courses out there where you can learn about these things, how to do professional type editing, lighting, audio stuff. There's a part of me that's like, I really think I need to start learning about audio, especially because that has been, to me, like the hardest thing to figure out. It's always a mess on our videos. I can't ever get it. It's either like too loud, too low. We picked up something in the background, and I don't know how to adjust that sound. Or how to set it up in the first place so that we don't have these issues later when we're editing. So you can do something as simple as just go to YouTube and be like, how do I edit audio? And you're going to get like thousands of returns.
Yeah, Google itself actually has its own channel about making YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, there's a YouTube, Yeah, you did. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Google, YouTube, it's all the same, actually.
YouTube Academy. So,
Yes.
yeah, so YouTube itself is going to be the best resource for information about doing videos. I mean, they have some of the highest earning channels people on there. I can't even say that right. Like Veritasium and other folks that do videos, how to do your thumbnails, how to do all these things that will tell you how they have done it so that they can get the best experience out of YouTube.
Yes, and you know, if you want to do a paid course, we actually, the Freedom Theory, they have a course about how to do it, and they were successful. They have like 30,000 something, I don't know.
YouTube.com, the Freedom Theory.
Yeah, yeah. Not only are they really sweet, but they know what they're talking about. They know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe we should
I know, maybe
watch
we should
it again.
maybe we should take the class as well.
So see what's out there, whether it's on YouTube or your local Votech or whatever. See what's out there. There's a lot of information. The internet is at your fingertips. You do have a supercomputer in your cell phone.
Oh, something that, don't do this though. If you know somebody that's out there succeeding, don't reach out to them and say, hey, I have all these questions about YouTube and I need to pick your brain. And you're not going to pay them for the amount of time and effort, even if they're your friends. Don't do that.
Do your homework.
Do your homework. Look up stuff for free for people who are offering it for free. If your friend offers a course, buy the course, take the course. Recognize the fact that they have put in a lot of time and effort learning and putting together a course and doing all those things.
Yeah.
Please, please, please consider their time as well. Even as a friend, I know it costs money. I know it's hard to open up your wallet. I know this. We know this.
We know this.
We know this. We do
Do
not
it.
like to open up our wallets for these things either. But it reaches a point where what you're going to get out of it is really going to be worth it. Okay, so that was my last bit.
So there are lots of challenges and lots of opportunities for doing a YouTube video. Now, if you're just seeking fame, awesome, good reason, go ahead and do it. But if you have a lot of stuff that you want to communicate, you want to educate folks, there are going to be challenges. There's the challenges of time. It's a major time challenge. Jessica has a regular job that she does day to day. She has our website. She has Twitter. She has Pinterest, Canva. Have you ever heard of Tailwind? No, you will. And then she does a YouTube video production. I mean, I just step in here, I start yapping at the camera.
Robert's just a talent. He's just a pretty face that shows up.
And she does all the work. So, do it anyway. Number 2, you're going to get comments. And you can't turn off the comments on your videos because then people might get miffed and stop watching you. But you will get jerks. What you have to realize, whenever you're communicating with somebody and it's not in person, you don't know this person, they're going to be putting a comment that they mean in all good intention, but it'll sound like your mother on overdrive trying to tell you what to do.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I had one that I was like, is this really not my mom? It really sounds like my mom being really super disappointed in me.
Yeah, so we've gotten a little bit, hardened over the years, but we also get a little bit snippy. And we'll see a comment, somebody well-meaning, that thinks that we haven't ever thought of what they're saying, such as, that uneven tire wear could be something's out of balance. I have thought of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyhow, so remember, when you're commenting, there's no tone. And if somebody's had a bad day, it's going to be the worst tone. Or if somebody's working 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., when they read it, they're going to be a little bit freaked out and they might get pissed and delete the comment.
Or if you're, yeah.
So when you're reading them, realize, you might be tired and you're reading this comment and they may not be jerks when they're writing it. So you have to deal with that. So anyways, so even in spite of all the comments, in spite of you misinterpreting what they're trying to say, or somebody just is being a jerk, and you will get those freaks and jerks and pervs out there, do it anyway. Just block them.
Yeah, anything that you are, that really makes you feel bad about yourself, or question yourself, or any of those things, delete the comment. That is your channel. You have the rights to do and say whatever you want, and yes, you are putting yourself out there, which means people feel they have the right to say whatever they want about you. You decide. You can delete it.
Yeah, we had this conversation early on with ourselves and with other YouTubers that we knew, and this is your front yard. This is your YouTube channel, is your business, and you clean that up. It's not like somebody came and put it on Yelp and said, hey, I found a hair in my sandwich. That's legit, okay? But you're not making sandwiches. If somebody is just coming online, you know, with that anonymity of the keyboard and that you know, fake courage of the keyboard. No, it's your right to clean up the front yard. If somebody's being unfair or trashing you or other folks, get rid of it.
Yeah, I could always tell if I'm like steaming about something and I'm thinking about it and thinking about it and replaying it and coming up with like 50 ways I could respond. I literally just grab my phone and I hit delete. I don't read the comment again. I delete it and I'm done, because I have more important things to deal with and to think about, and to, you know, I don't have time to be spending hours some stranger somewhere that said I'm an irresponsible person, because whatever it is.
So in conclusion, if you do want to start a YouTube channel,
do it!
Yeah, do it. Go for it. There will be challenges, so the best way to succeed is know what your plan is, be ready to budget for the equipment that you might need, whether it's cameras, whether it's lighting, microphones, what you wear, where you go, where you travel, how you get there. Make it a business, you know, have a business plan, lay out your expenses, and be prepared for the time investment it's going to take, right?
Right. And not just the time investment of this video, editing, recording, whatever takes this amount of time. Also the time to grow an audience, to grow your channel, to grow in your own ability. It takes time. It's not unless you went to film school, you have this brilliant idea already, you have a partner, and you guys just like, bam, let's do this, whoa, and you have some money to invest in ads and really just hit it hard. It's going to take time.
Commitment.
Commitment.
Alright folks, thanks for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this video and have some good information for you. I'm sure we've left things out. Don't tell us that we've left things out. Just comment below and say, hey, other folks, you know, what about XYZ? Think about it. So, you know, have a nice day. We enjoy your patronage. And thank you to all our patrons.
Yes, and don't forget to check out the Freedom Theories course on how to make your own YouTube channel, and let them know that Jessica and Robert from Exploring the Local Life sent you.
And we can't wait to see the baby.
Yeah. What? Again? The baby again?
We can't wait to see the baby again.
Bye!
Bye!
And then... Dun, 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 dun.
This episode of Exploring the Local Life was brought to you by the new Lumix GX85. The Lumix GX85 was used to film this episode. Feel free to click on the link below and buy one for yourself.